Man, barbering community,
Yeah, yeah.
different.
It's like rap.
It's like rap.
It's like rap.
It's
But we
like,
competitive in nature. Even though we're compassionate people,
yeah,
we're still competitive people because when we love something,
yeah,
we put our all into it.
that's a
And you
fact.
know what I'm saying? And it should be competitive at the end of the
It
day.
should.
Because how you going to get better?
Yeah. That's why I always tell people, competition don't mean beef, man. Competition is cool. People compete every day. Sports players, they compete every day. Get off the court, shake hands, go eat together. They friends, man.
Yeah.
Competition does not mean beef.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to compete. I think it actually brings out the best in people.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? This is Edric from Doja, the Dope and Diverse Culture, and I'm here at Groom Champs with my man G's. What's going on?
You already know, man. Another
Yeah.
day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar. Now, what's very interesting, right, is that I come across your name all the time, from having a barber shop, being a master barber, to hearing about Rich Intentions, to hearing about Groovy Classics, right? Now, entrepreneurship, I feel like people look at it as, something where you jump in and you jump out or things like that. But it takes somebody to master the entrepreneurship, to run a business, to make sure that it doesn't, there's ups and downs to it, right? And make sure that it doesn't fail. And, the lengths you have to go to make sure that it's still going, especially during the pandemic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was very big because they were they were challenging barbershops, hair salons, nail salons because you're in such close contact. So you had to make those adjustments, right?
Correct.
So I want to know, before we even get into that part of it, I want to know your story and how Groom Champs came to be.
Well, started in my man Joey Rain's garage. I was working up in an outlet at Calvin Klein. I was going to college at Brookdale Community College for
Okay.
graphic design. So I've always been an artist, drawing. I was always hands-on. I was known around the community for just, painting, drawing, crafting, anything in the artistic field.
Okay.
One day, as I was getting a haircut, my barber, Joey Rains, gave me an idea, which was barbering. I just looked at it as another aspect of art, which
Okay.
it is. And that's where it started. He started giving me lessons in the garage. I started coming there 2-3 days a week, taking lessons on the side, learning. Started cutting my friends, close family. Noticed that I was good at it. And then a year later, we wound up opening the shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so once we opened up the shop, I was partnered with him, a couple other local barbers, and things took off faster than we all thought.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I wanna take a quick stop and talk about when you were learning. When you said how many days? 3 to 4, 2 to 3, something like that, right?
yeah,
Now that right there, for you to keep going, you know what I'm saying? For you to keep going and saying, all right, cool, if I keep on mastering this, how did you translate your art from drawing on a piece of paper to translating into barbering?
I just treated the clipper like it was a pencil, man. That's how he explained it to me.
Okay.
As far as, from drawing to barbering. Like, man, it's all in the wrist, it's all in your hand, it's all with your hand-eye coordination. He like, man, ain't nothing different between the two crafts.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
He like, man, if you could draw, you could cut.
Facts, facts.
And I jumped in it.
Listen, I be tripping myself up, so I can't draw. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a huge fact. Now going on. Now you open up. You guys open up a shop, and how did you market yourself? How did you get out there and let people know?
Oh, man, I spent a long time, day after day, week after week, no customers, just picking up scraps, man, making no money, $100, $200 a week. It was hard, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times I thought about quitting. I just stuck with it, and the blessing came, clientele started to pick up, my name started to lift. I just kept my faith, man.
Yeah.
It was faith, that's all.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a big thing, an imagination, a vision, right? So people use a word like, oh, you have to have a vision, but I think people don't, put hand in hand together as an imagination, because you have to imagine where you're going to go. As a barber, in your hands, you have somebody's, they make funny things on social media. When the barber gets you up, you get all the girls, you know what I'm saying? You know how they see the before and the after? You know what I'm saying? The barber has to then it's like taking your image into their hands.
Yeah.
And they create, and they making sure that image is to a T.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you go to the barbershop, you going to look. When you walk out, your confidence
is different.
You know what I'm saying? Your confidence is different. So being a barber, you know what I'm saying? It's a chill environment, but at the end of the day, that barber is taking every single head that pop up in his barbershop seriously. You know what I'm saying? And that's a craft. So that's dope. And like I said, when I first came here, I was like, all I heard was, and listen, I'm talking to the audience. I read. You know I rock with you, Red. You know that's a fact.
I love you, Red.
Yeah, Red, you already know.
I love you, Red.
But when I came to you, G's, you gave me that same feeling. You know what I'm saying? The seriousness about being a barber and understanding how barbering is in our community. You know what I'm saying? It's a big aspect of our community. So now let's talk about, we talked about some of the challenges and things like that. What were your aha moments, like when you was like, oh, I get it now. Like, this is what it's supposed to be.
I had a couple aha moments. My first aha moment was, it was what could I call it? The Hammery family, they had like a child's day at the Prospect Courts. So I leave the shop, I get to the courts, and as I get out the car, there's just a bunch of kids running up to me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the barber. They ain't even saying my name. Oh, that's the barber. That's the barber. Oh, that's the barber. And feel me? I'm like, oh, it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I got an image to uphold. People watching me. So
that
was an aha moment. And then another aha moment was, I had spent a lot of time away from church, my family, just getting myself right. So, I just came back around family, and they just like, they treated me different. They holding me. So I go back to church with my mom one Sunday, and I walk into church, and they call me up front.
Yeah.
Oh, we wanna talk about what you've been doing, and I'm like, I ain't been here in 2-3 years, and y'all still know, like people got their eye on me. So I'd be like, all right, and I just start walking different. I start moving different. So
yeah. Because people start to look up at you. Yeah. Kids, barbering is a respectful craft, and you can have your own business as well if you do it correctly. Facts. And especially in our community, you know what I'm saying? That is something that we're able to do, that we know.
Yeah, it's a big psychological feel to it. When people get in your chair, you got to talk to them. I mean, they might talk to you.
Yeah.
They might pour out their feelings. You never know.
Yeah.
You got to be able to take it, deal with it. I mean, I might come in and had a bad day. Then my customer come in and had a bad day.
Okay.
And I got to deal with his bad day on my bad day. So you just learn to put yourself to the side, deal with what you're dealing with first, and then you come back to it. It's a lot of sacrifices in here.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be in here mad, or I could be in here happy, and I just can't let whatever goes on in here. I got to understand that it's business. It's a business at the end of the day, and it's a big psychological feel to it. It's not just about the clippers and a sharp cut. It's about being one-on-one with your clientele, everybody, establishing a relationship. Barbering is real deep.
Yeah,
real deep.
Now, the personal relationship is crazy, because it's just like you said, psychological. And barbers are also therapists. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, the realest people I know is barbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Young Dolph.
Yeah.
He was a barber.
Started off,
Yeah, started off as the realest people I know are barbers, and they're put in these places, you know what I'm saying? Even if you believe in God, I believe these people are put in places because he knows.
Yeah.
He knows, you know what I'm saying, that again, in our community, how deep it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From cutting, I see you cutting at schools.
You
know what I'm saying?
For proms. Like the last time they invited us to the school, it was just like a men's meeting, basically, to speak on entrepreneurship and how, we basically spoke on what these kids wanted to do and how kids don't dream no more, how they don't know what they want to grow up to be. You asking these kids in high school what they want to grow up to be in high school, and they don't even know.
Yeah.
They don't even have an answer to the question. So they just telling us their ideas, and we telling them how they could take it and build from it and where they should go. So that was our last session that we had at the high school.
Oh, that's
on
beautiful.
Entrepreneurship,
Yeah, and that's Asbury Park High School.
Yep.
Yep.
Asbury Park High School. At the spot. Shout out to the spot.
Word, facts,
Shout out to the
facts.
spot.
Man, that's a beautiful thing. And again, that's why I said the imagination is so important. Because the imagination is where entrepreneurs go ahead and they get the idea, and then they can see the goal. They can see the next step, what they have to do. You know what I'm saying? And failing, that's going to come.
That's going to come.
It's going to come. If you throw enough things on the wall, eventually something's going to stick.
Yeah.
You know?
Failure is definitely a part of it. I feel like that's what makes, that's what transforms most entrepreneurs into becoming bigger leaders.
Yeah.
How well you deal with your losses. So that's a big part of leadership.
And like, and what's that? The documentary, Kanye documentary, Genius. We all speak about it of don't look at it half empty, look at it half full, right? And if you look at, you know, Kanye, well, I know some people are like, yo, he crazy as shit, right? But he always spoke his vision and his imagination. He always spoke it. And he figured if one way didn't work, then he figured out another way. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. Look at clothing. You know what I'm saying? And let's make that transition. Clothing. Let's talk about Rich Intentions and how you brought that to light as well.
Rich Intentions, oh man. So that started off, man. I was probably, this is around 2013, 14. You know, I was like in the middle of becoming a barber. I was well established as a barber, and I was just bored. I was making money, and I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, you know, my mind racing, like, what could I do? What could I do? What could I get into next? And me, my cousin, my boy, Ronique, shout out to Neek, we came up with this idea about Rich Intentions. And it was basically to a motivational brand.
Yeah.
So we came up with this dope logo, the crown, and it was just to establish, like, mentally to black men and all men and everybody else, you know, like, everybody ain't got it right now.
Yeah.
But you don't gotta have it to want it. You know
exactly.
So that's really what the brand was about. Made a logo. We started going to the mall, dumping a couple dollars, the little print store, selling T-shirts and hats, and it just took off. We were making money, crazy money.
Yeah.
After that, I called up a lawyer, spoke to him. I established my LLC, all my business entities, my tax IDs and stuff like that. I got real serious about it. And since then, I never looked back.
Yeah.
So fashion is definitely a part of the culture, everything that I do. So when somebody comes to get a haircut, they either leaving the mall or going to the mall.
Yeah.
Right after the cut.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, you know, I'm corner of the market, one-stop shop. When they come here, they might need.
Exactly.
And sometimes they might come get a cut at 10 o'clock, everything closed. You want to go to the club, you're going to get fresh cut. I got everything you need right here. So that was my mental to create an establishment because I never just wanted a barbershop. I wanted a clothing store. I wanted a car detail shop. I wanted to form these ideas and bring them all into one business.
Yeah.
You could pull up, get your car washed out back, come in here, get some clothes, get a cut.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, the one-stop fly shop.
One-stop fly shop.
Word up. And if you take it back a little bit, probably like early 2000s, remember when you used to have, they had the barbershops, and then they had somebody in the back. And they had selling the sneakers. They had the shoes and stuff like that. Yeah. And those are the things that really, you know, made our culture what it is in that aspect. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So you hit it right on the head. You take from that and you grow from it. So instead of, you know, traveling to New York City, Canal Street, get some fake sneakers, we live in a different generation now where everything is at our hands. We see it on social media. We know how to call up somebody. People making sneakers now.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I would have thought, like, how the hell you making
a sneaker?
Yeah. Everybody making sneakers, all type of shit. So it's like, I mean, it's just crazy how evolution works from, like you said, you go in the shop, you used to go back there and get the see-through Nike.
Yeah.
Now, It's just it's just evolution. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Now, not only that, you're taking it to a point where, like, when you say one-stop shop, you're also taking it to the point where you got your own products now.
Own products, yeah. So, like I said, somebody might get in a chair. They might be talking about waves. They might be talking about their dreads. Oh, I gotta go do this. Yeah, you need like as far as shampoo, I see my workers, they run to the store to buy it and stuff like that. Stuff that we spend with these retailers that we could be manufacturing and making ourselves, saving the money and selling it. Just like a hair store. Like what's different from a barbershop and a hair store? Well, I go to a separate place of business.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all the same thing.
It's
A
all the same
barbershop should
thing.
have, I mean, so even when I was on Main Street, and I was working for Jiva. She closed the shop on Main Street, and I looked for a retail space past Main Street. They told me that zoning doesn't allow you to open up a barbershop unless 80% is retail.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, that's only on
Main Street.
past Main Street.
Past Main Street.
Past that, and that's because they were trying to push barbershops to this side, to the
Yeah.
west side of the city.
Of course.
So I took it on the chin, but I learned from it. So I'm like, yeah, I go to the west side, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I'm like, they're right.
Yeah.
Retail is a big part of barbering, so I just took advantage of it. And that's how
And
I
learn from it. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy how when you get into it, that's business. That's business,
yeah.
right? When you get into business, it's like, and the crazy part, I think the guy who owned Asbury, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but the guy who owned Asbury, he bought Asbury because he's had a comb business.
Dang.
So how crazy is that? Is the guy who had the business? I believe this is the exact history of it, of how Asbury came to be, or who bought all the land and all that type of stuff. But he owned a comb business. You feel what I'm saying? And they pushing you away from what originated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like zoning and business, and that's why I tell people, just like you explained, LLC. You know what I'm saying? Trademarking, registering. If you got employees, you have to handle this stuff to a certain seriousness.
Yes.
Because if you don't, you gonna be behind. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the weight of entrepreneurship. Like it's cool, you got your own schedule, you're your own boss, you tell yourself what to do, but you carry all that extra weight that these people are doing behind the curtains that you don't know about. You usually just working, clocking in, clocking out, getting a check.
Yep.
Going home, oh, I got benefits from this job. Or you might not have benefits or something like that. But now it's keep your receipts, everything you go out and buy. You might have to pay back, you might not. You gotta pay your employees, all different type of loans, and
Yep.
it's a lot of weight that come with keeping up with your own,
Yeah.
keeping up with yourself. It's crazy.
Organization, paying attention to
Organization.
detail. It is it's crazy because
And it's weekly. It's daily.
Yeah.
It's daily.
Yep.
It's daily.
Yep.
I don't care if you go out. I just learned. I was doing a lot of things backwards. I'm going out. I was spending my personal money buying lunch, buying supplies.
Yeah.
I wasn't opening my business account, using my cards correctly, not doing my tax write-off, losing.
Yeah.
I was losing.
Yeah.
So after, over the years, it's my third year in business, so I would say I'm really mastering the game of benefiting from my business, from myself.
Yeah. But look at the span of time it took you to get to that point. Where that's when people jump off the boat.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, I'm done with this. This ain't working out. Blase blah. Imagination, vision. I see it. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna make it happen. If I took 2 steps backwards, then I'm gonna take a step forward. Like those are the things that you have to do, and that's why on Dulture, I love talking to entrepreneurs because it's what people want to do nowadays. A lot of people like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to work for myself. I want to do that, but they don't know. A lot of entrepreneurs have one idea.
One idea in the group.
And then they went hard at that idea, and then they had a foundation to establish other.
It's like a tree.
Yeah.
You start at the root, it start growing, and it just start.
Yup.
You don't know where it's going to go.
Where it's going to go.
Where it's going to go. And that's why another important thing about entrepreneurship is to move in numbers, man. Because once that tree start growing, And all them branches that you can't, it's hard to keep up with. Like
Yeah.
you just like one business is you learn to manage. Maybe you get to two, but once things start to really like flourish, you need a team. You know, unless you're just gonna be hiring people.
Yeah, outsourcing.
I'm trying to be like Drake. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I want to bring all my boys in.
exactly,
So
exactly.
that's how I'm coming.
Yeah, man, and it's more of that because then that's again you building a community.
Community.
We
exactly.
all have talents.
Exactly.
We all have talents, and when it's what we have to, especially the entrepreneur, the person who's running it, is able to see that in people. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. Starbucks, you know what I'm saying? Starbucks has built. Not only do they do coffee, they do everything.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? They do everything. I see, and this is a simple example because we all know Starbucks got T-shirts, they got their own mugs, they got their coffees, they in hotels, they in, you know what I'm saying? They everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And entrepreneurs are able to see that. They're able to see where things should go, who should do what, how this is going to be built. You know what I'm saying? And then be able to explain that vision so other people can all be on the same mission. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. That's
dope.
super dope. Now let's talk about the future of Groom Champs.
Okay.
So when it comes to the future of Groom Champs, what do you see Groom Champs being? Big, from a big building to, remember in Barbershop, the movie, they had the basketball court and the competitor that across the
That'd be
street.
dope.
All of that.
Yeah. It's crazy because I actually visualize Groom Champs as like I really want to get into like the franchise. So like here, this shop, I got a studio.
Okay.
You can come here, you can record. My next one, I might want to have maybe a bigger clothing store, or you know, a big enough space to have put like a pool table in there. You know, make it more upscale. You know, like a luxury type of business. Right? But at each different location, I just figured I would mix in barbering with whatever goes hand in hand with it. So, like I said, it could be a detail shop. It was a car wash on Memorial. They asked me to put a barber shop on the second floor. I denied it, but that was a dope idea.
Yeah.
Dope idea. Before that, I was offered to put a barber shop on top of A&J sneaker store. That was a dope idea. And these are all things that go hand in hand that I learned from like,
Yeah.
you know, but I definitely want to, you know, franchise, like barbering goes hand in hand with music, my man, rap. Like I get local artists that come in here all the time.
Okay.
Even before I put a studio in here. That's what, you know, gave me the idea. Like, you know what? They in here, ain't no studio around here. They going up top, past Perth, Amboy, and Sayreville.
Yeah.
30 minutes. And they don't even know these people that's recording them. So I'm like, you know what? I just keep, you know, stretching my mind to pinpoint things that go hand in hand with barbering, and that's where I'm just been focusing on, like behind the curtains, just putting a lot of stuff down on paper and blueprints because that's definitely what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how was the barbering community, the community of barbers? Does it go because when I was coming up, you know, I seen how the barbers, they were, you know, I used to get my hair cut at Cutter's Corner. They all spread out, you know what I'm saying? And from them spreading out, I knew who those barbers were. So there was Heads Up, you know what I'm saying? Cutter's Corner, and it was just Shave, Golden Clippers. And you know what I'm saying? And how is the barbering community? Is it a place where anybody can, you know, hey man, I'm not gonna be here today. Can you do this for me? Can you cut this person for me? How is it as a community?
It's a competitive community. As far as barbering goes, like you're not gonna find many establishments that's cool with letting their clientele jump. Me, I've always been the type of person that, you know, there's definitely barbers that you do connect with, like Red, she's one, Joey, my man, Mike, Meeks. There's a couple barbers that I connect with that if I'm out of town, I don't have a problem saying, yo, go over them, they dope.
Yeah.
Like, they dope.
Yeah.
I don't think it's cool at all to shoot anybody down. So,
Okay.
So even if I felt like there was barbers that wasn't good, I wouldn't even speak on that. I'm only going to speak on other barbers that I'm like, yo, you know, they're good. But barbering community, it's definitely very competitive.
Okay.
Very, very, very competitive. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's a lot of feud, sometimes it's not. But I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So I love either side of it, the feud side
Yup.
and the friendly side. Because I'm a competitive person. So
Yeah.
I love to compete.
Yeah.
I love to compete. Like Red, when I was coming up and I was young, she was one of the first people to put pressure on me. Like, you ain't nice, but I know she wasn't saying that to bring me down. She like, oh, I see you, youngin. Like, yeah,
Yup.
So I was like, I appreciated that type of love and stuff like that. But man, barbering community,
Yeah.
different.
It's like rap.
It's like rap.
It's like rap.
It's
But we
like-
competitive in nature. Even though we're compassionate people,
Yeah.
we're still competitive people because when we love something, we put our all into it.
That's
And
a fact.
you know what I'm saying? And it should be competitive at the end of the day.
It should.
Because how you going to get better?
Yeah. That's why I always tell people, competition don't mean beef, man. Competition is cool. People compete every day. Sports players, they compete every day. Get off the court, shake hands, go eat together. They friends, man.
Yeah.
Competition does not mean beef.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to compete. I think it actually brings out the best in people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
And that goes far as like Nike and Adidas. Remember, the whole thing where you don't wear Nike with Adidas?
Yep.
I think it was honestly a campaign for competing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? To compete. So now it's like, all right, you can't wear this, you can't wear that. So the people ended up saying, all right, if I'm Nike, I'm competing with Adidas.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It was like a compete thing. So I gotta have, if Adidas come out with a new tracksuit, then Nike gotta come out with a tracksuit. And the people like who rock with Nike, gotta have that Nike tracksuit. You know what I'm saying? To compete. And competition, like you said, don't mean beef. It's to get you better.
It's to get you better, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all, especially in the world that we live in today. Like you can't go to war without everybody knowing like what's going on with the UK. You can't do anything in the world without everybody speaking about it at that instant. So it's like, man, it's all marketing. So for, like you said, Nike, checks over stripes. You hear people, checks over stripes. Checks over, down to them signing artists now. Like they signing artists.
Off of that,
Like it ain't even signing athletes. They signing artists and public figures.
Yeah.
To sell their sneakers now. So it just goes to show, like, you got to pay attention to what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
Competition is cool.
It is. Word up. And that's what 50 Cent will always say. I don't know, I can't remember who he was speaking to, but 50 Cent told a story, or somebody told a story about 50 Cent where he threw him a lob, and he started beefing with them. And he seen him out in public, and the person was like, he ran up on him and was like, yo, 50, why you talking all that, da-da-da? And 50 was like, yo, I'm giving you a lob.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's, I'm giving you a lob right now because this is, if you learn how to control the narrative, you know, especially in hip hop, you know, it's an entertainment business. If you control the narrative, it actually can benefit you. You know what I'm saying? And for barbering, I think that if people, you know, it's a business that's in our community that we need to let flourish more than what we have. You know what I'm saying? We need to, like, barbering they have competitions and stuff like that because cats is nice. Nice at barber. You know,
I got a 15-year-old barber in here. Shout out to my boy Hassan, man. 15 years old, full clientele. You know, he's still under the learning experience. I wish he could come in here and work on a regular schedule.
Yeah,
see, that nice.
Yeah,
but you know, I just closed the shop. I let him come in here. He cut all his friends. It's crazy, bro. Like 15 years, sophomore in high school, and I'm just like, man.
He don't even. He understands it probably, but
he like, man, I just want to hurry up and graduate. I'm like, bro, take your time, like man, take your time. Bro, it's gonna be here. Like, you 10 steps ahead from what I was doing. So, man, you good where you at? Like, pace yourself and take your time. Like,
yeah, but how important is that? Because you know what I'm saying? It's another generation.
Another generation coming.
Red with you. You know what I'm saying? Joey with you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got these kids. That's somebody that has that dream that wants to flourish. How do I do it? You know what I'm saying? Because we going to get old one day. Who gonna carry that torch? And I think that's where we sometimes forget about certain things. We can't always think about ourselves. We always got to think about who's going to carry that torch for our community. You know what I'm saying? We spoke earlier, keys to the city, keys to the city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's, to me, those people deserve those things because they really take it serious on what to do and how to conduct themselves. You know, you conduct yourself so our younger generation can see, oh, all right, this is how G's did it. You know what I'm saying? So I could build off of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was a successful campaign going on there, and I can build off of that. You know what I'm saying? Just like that kid said, "Yeah, hold on, wait," because there could be a situation where that kid didn't have that, and you could be like, oh, "I'm just gonna quit, cut." You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Yeah.
Your mentor. You know, mentors are extremely important in business.
Facts.
Extremely important.
Very important.
Now, what else I want to talk about is Groovy Classics, which I thought was a hot name too, by the way. Groovy Classics. I definitely rock with that. That Groovy Classic records, right?
Yep.
So now let's talk about how that came. Where you did dip into it a little bit, but talk about how you knew this was important.
So Groovy Classics, man. Shout out to my cousin Mikey. Shout out to Boogie. I love y'all to death, man. Groovy Classics. Those are my brothers, my friends. I just came to a point in my life, you know, of entrepreneurship. Like I told you, my mind always raced. So I came to a point in my life where I just wanted to invest in my friends, people that was around me, you know, like corner the market. So I figured, you know, that's why I put the studio in here.
Yeah.
It came off, my cousin Mikey, he had just came home from jail. Boogie been my brother for many years. We been making music together for a long time. I used to rap.
Yeah.
I won't rap now.
Me too, bro. You already know.
I used to rap, so it's like, you know, I still got that little bit in me.
Like I got it still.
I might be in the house by myself. I might, feel me, turn the beat on, I be feeling myself. Feel me? So it just came from that type of energy. Like, man, you know what? I want to invest in my boys. So I came up with this idea. I told them, like, look, I got this little hallway in the back of my shop. It ain't that big, but it's bigger than normal. It's kind of awkward because the way it's formed. I mean, I'm going to throw a studio in there. They're like, huh? So I'm like, all right. They took it as a blink thought, and I threw the studio in here. So they came in, they seen the studio. They're like, dang. So we sat down. We came up with the logo. Mikey actually delivered the name, Groovy Classics. That was Mikey's name. He came up. So, you know, we sat down. We came up with the idea, like, look, this is going to be our platform. This is us. So, Groovy Classic Records. And that's how that came about. We actually did that during, while we were shut down during COVID. We were so bored. So I'm like, man, I'm coming in here every day. I can't cut nobody. For months.
Yep.
So I'm just in here, shop. I'm just cleaning every day. They're like, man, you bored. I'm like, man, I got to do something.
I got to do something.
Something. Like, we ain't doing nothing. We together every day, just at the crib, round around, nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I opened the studio. We just start coming in here, recording.
And then boom.
Took off from there.
Yeah. Nah, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And you hitting every aspect, like giving back, trying to, give people have dreams, right? And for example, you'll have just like NBA players or artists or something like, NBA players, entertainers and things of that nature. They venture off, right? They venture off and they try to, I remember, what's his name? He used to play for Philly. He was playing for Philly at this time. And he ended up doing his own record label. And he put on his artists. You know what I'm saying? And helped our artists get on. And I think for a short time, that artist had a very good career and was meeting people and things like that. But he came from his hometown. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's important because, especially here in Asbury Park. Deshaun Jackson. Yeah. Yep, exactly.
He had old boy battle Meek Mill.
Yep.
Meek Mill, or what's the homeboy that died?
Yeah. Exactly. But that's especially coming from a place like Asbury Park. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's such a staple. It's a staple in Monmouth County. It's a staple. When you even talk to people, I go out. I was in Miami. I go to Miami. I'm from Eatontown, right? But when I talk to people, I usually end up saying, I'm from Eatontown. They be like, where? I'm like, Asbury Park. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I know what Asbury Park is. I see it on the Weather Channel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's an extremely important place, especially for us, you know what I'm saying, in Monmouth County. Yeah. It's extremely important. And we got music coming from, you know what I'm saying, I grew up in Eatontown, in that area and stuff like that. So I'm from the town. So, we had Los Lee. You know what I'm saying?
Guap Gang.
Guap Gang. You feel what I'm saying? That's the staple for us. Yeah. But you also used to come to Asbury and you would have other artists as well. I mean, let me think of, wow, man, this is a long time ago. So many artists, so many great artists that came through Asbury.
Sparks, B.I.
Yep. Man. I remember when Skagnetti was, I mean, he wasn't rap, but he was Skagnet.
Skag, man.
Skag was hit.
If you ain't have a do-rag with the Skagnetti logo on it, man, you wasn't it.
Yup, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Then you had Long Branch draft pick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Palm
Like
finish, yeah.
this is something that, yo, if we can help that, because we got so much talent here, and you know, hip hop and breaking into that industry is extremely hard. But if we work together, you know what I'm saying, we can help. And everybody needs, yo, it's investors. Yeah. We have to be investors for our people. You know what I'm saying? That's how things happen. If we're not investors for our own people, then who gonna invest into us? Who we understand each other more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? And I always say, we love raw. We love it when it's raw, when it first come out. When they get all the way up here, and then they do a little crossover, we be like, yo, who the next hottest?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we definitely understand that. So you know, again. But where did you find out where the hottest rappers was? They used to be in the case, and they used to have the CDs, and they used to mix in the latest who's hot in your town with the rest of the songs.
The rest of the songs.
At the barbershop.
Yep.
Because the barbershop is the #1 place where you come and get your information as far as like who's hot. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. Oh, you sell these clothes, or you got this, or you got that? Yep. The barbershop. Like, once again, a staple in our community. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you doing this interview. You know what I'm saying? And yo, this ain't gonna be the last one.
I hope not, baby.
Yeah,
you know
definitely not gonna be the last
Big
one.
shout out to DultureTV.
Yep, G's, Groom Champs.
We here, baby.
And we here. Appreciate you.
Y'all ready?
That's it, my boy. Let's go.